Luo Feng's world power covered full 12 chaotic states. When the Tian Kuan Kingdom Lord's body wanted to enter this range, Luo Feng naturally detected it, naturally rejecting and squeezing the other party. The dense world power squeezed the Tian Kuan Kingdom Lord, forcing the Tian Kuan Kingdom Lord to reveal his form. An incredibly large body appeared in the heavens and earth. On it, there was a pair of incomparably huge wings, and a bloody mouth that took up a third of its body size. Its blood-colored eyes were filled with a fierce aura, and a thick, scaly tail stretched across the heavens and earth. His wings spread out and was 300 trillion kilometers long. The thickness of his body was at least 50 to 60 trillion kilometers. This was already as small as it could possibly be, as the heavens and earth were too small for any larger body size. Chaotic Origin Bloodline. Luo Feng looked at this scene. The upper limit of the Chaotic Origin Bloodline was extremely high. It could even jump out of the cage world. Tian Kuan Kingdom Lord as a second-level God King. He had tapped the potential of the Chaotic Origin Bloodline to the utmost, the power of his huge body. Although not as much as emperors and monarchs, but it already had some charm to it. The huge face that enveloped the 12 chaotic states disappeared, and a silver-robed figure stood in front of the towering behemoth. Luo He, some things are done, and you have to pay the price. The ponderous behemoth let out a voice that caused the endless vastness of the heavens and earth to tremble. Then let me see what you're capable of to see if it's me who pays the price or you. Luo Feng leisurely looked at him. He admitted that the true body of the Tian Kuan Kingdom Lord was more domineering and strong than his world life form. While the two of them were talking, there was already an ancient existence watching the battle from afar. Existences with great strength could watch the battle from afar from their own caves. Those who were weaker rushed to the nearness of the state of Yu Kingdom. A clash of two hegemons. The Polf God King also rushed to the Yu Kingdom, so he could watch the battle more clearly. Luo He God King is still too confident. He's only reached the threshold of the hegemon level after all. The Tian Kuan Kingdom Lord, however, has accumulated an extremely deep. This battle, I'm afraid that Luo He God King is going to suffer a big loss. Luo Feng, Sitting Mountain Guest, had also arrived from the Thunder Ancient Kingdom to the border of the Food Kingdom, watching the battle from afar. He was weaker. When he was in the Thunder Ancient Kingdom, he didn't sense Luo Feng's world power enveloping the 12 chaos states, but he had been ordering Luo Feng's intelligence, so he also learned that Luo Feng and the Food Kingdom had fallen out. Just became a God King and made a move. What's the rush? Sitting Mountain Guest said secretly. After all, the Tian Kuan Kingdom Lord is in the second level of the God King realm. It's not too late for you to make a move when you break through the second level of God King realm. Luo Feng, Mountain Sitting Guest, was very patient. He had waited for such a long time. Even if he waited for tens of thousands of epochs more, he would have the patience. Luo Feng might suffer a bit of loss, but no danger to his life. Sitting Mountain Guest comforted himself as he nervously watched the battle. The two great ancient kingdoms and many ancient existences were all watching this battle. After all, there were only so many hegemons in the entire Origin continent. Two hegemons fighting each other was a rare event. Ha ha ha, you're really confident. The huge body of the Tian Kuan Kingdom Lord made a sound, and then opened his bloody mouth. This bloody bowl occupied 1/3 of his body, and inside his mouth were densely interlaced sharp teeth, after which he let out a terrifying roar. Roar! Black wind flew out from that blood bowl mouth, instantly sweeping across the sky and earth. There was even a small amount of gray airflow hidden in that black wind. Luo Feng was a bit shocked just by looking at it. This is the annihilation wind of the Tian Kuan Kingdom Lord? Luo Feng had long gathered detailed information about the Tian Kuan Kingdom Lord, knowing that this annihilation wind destroys the heavens and the earth when it comes out, and is a great threat to even the second-level God King. I'll have to see. Luo Feng's figure instantly grew bigger. His feet stepped on the earth and his head was already almost touching the stars. A silver-robed Luo Feng stood in place. The silver robes on his body surface then naturally spread out, transforming into a silver sky curtain, taking the initiative to intercept that terrifying black wind. The annihilation wind. It was a bloodline move that the Tian Kuan Kingdom Lord had comprehended from the chaotic origin bloodline with the realm of the great Tao of matter origin. It was extremely corrosive and destructive. The moment it touched the silver sky curtain, the silver sky curtain was tough to resist. It was even more filled with endless vitality, but it was still being eroded out of the huge holes. The annihilation wind, eroded and shattered the silver sky curtain, continued to blow towards Luo Feng. Although the silver robes were eroded, they naturally recovered from the nothingness and went to intercept it again, and were once again blown into oblivion. It was only Luo Feng's silver robes spreading out, constantly intercepting and constantly being destroyed by infiltration. From the scene, the annihilation wind was clearly stronger. However, the silver-colored robes spread out, but it was full of endless vitality, able to recover from nothingness over and over again. Moreover, Luo Feng himself was constantly supplied with energy, going forward to block that annihilation wind. Finally, Luo Feng's robes were penetrated full of holes, and the annihilating wind was finally consumed. Just the robes stopped my annihilation wind? The Tianquan Kingdom Lord sensed that his opponent was not to be messed with after his initial move. This flesh body and robe of him are both practiced by secret methods. It's incredibly tough, and the vitality is extremely dense. The characteristics of a life origin cultivator is that it is very difficult to completely exterminate. Seemingly exterminated, they could still recover again from nothingness. The Emperor Chu, who was capable to destroying the ultimate life forms, believed that it would take 2 or 3 moves to completely exterminate this clone of Luo Feng. It was evident that the life origin was tenacious. Luo He, I just blew a breath of wind and your robe became torn to pieces. The voice of the Tianquan Kingdom Lord resounded through the heavens and earth. Luo Feng's tattered and torn robes were also naturally repaired and restored to full health. The annihilation wind of the Tianquan Kingdom Lord is indeed quite powerful. Luo Feng complimented. I wonder, is there any more powerful moves? Let me try them out. Then I'll fulfill you. The bloody eyes of the Tianquan Kingdom Lord became more and more vicious. The forehead position of his huge head suddenly had an incredibly dazzling golden light coalesced, and the golden light coalesced in an instant, causing the hearts of those watching from all sides to be shocked. Great Extinction Golden Light. The killing technique of the Tianquan Kingdom Lord. The Tianquan Kingdom Lord was, after all, a second-level god king with extremely deep accumulation, and his moves were known to the outside world. The Annihilating Wind was only a common technique of the Tianquan Kingdom Lord, and the Great Extinction Golden Light was the killing technique, which was able to threaten emperors and monarchs. The Tianquan Kingdom Lord is fighting for his life as soon as he arrives. Sitting Mountain Guest was a little uneasy at the sight. This Great Extinction Golden Light, condensing the power of the chaotic origin bloodline, is extremely terrifying in terms of destroying matter, and is enough to make the Emperor level take it seriously. The divine power incarnation of the Yu Shui Kingdom Lord was also nervously watching the battle. This time, Luo He was taking the fight for him. The Great Extinction Golden Light was notorious. The moment the golden light emanated from the Tianquan Kingdom Lord's forehead, Luo Feng couldn't even block it in time before he was struck. This golden light instantly struck Luo Feng's chest. Luo Feng only felt his own body rumble as the golden light instantly merged into his own body, destroying everything in a wantonly and madly. It was the basic composition of his world life form that was constantly being annihilated. Although while being annihilated, it was also recovering with great difficulty. But the destruction was too terrifying and soon completely annihilated the vitality of the base substance. Snort, snort. The towering silver-robed body of Luo Feng that was at the same height as heaven and earth. Countless golden lines appeared on the surface. The golden lines were corroding and annihilating the body, and Luo Feng's body was also constantly recovering. My Great Extinction Golden Light, formed from the cohesion of the chaotic origin bloodline, is clearly superior. But his body is like a world and contains too much energy. Tianquan Kingdom Lord sensed how difficult Luo He was to deal with. The God Kings, all of them could easily achieve the same height as heaven and earth. So it was difficult to clearly judge from the surface how vast an energy reserve Luo Feng's clone actually contained. Emperor Chu, as a being who had reached the ultimate realm, his perception was much sharper. The perception of the Tianquan Kingdom Lord was much inferior, and could only be accurately judged by hand-to-hand combat. One of my Great Extinction Golden Lights can only destroy about 1% of his body. The heart of the Tianquan Kingdom Lord was cold, but I've exhausted myself and can at most send out 10 Great Extinction Golden Lights. Although there were still a few more killing techniques, the Tianquan Kingdom Lord was able to tell that he himself was unable to annihilate this body. Those who cultivate the great Tao of life origin, although their life force is tenacious, in front of me, they are generally avoid me and using clone techniques to save their lives. There aren't many that dare to fight hard, the Tianquan Kingdom Lord secretly said, but this Luo He dares to resist my moves. I can feel that his physical body in addition to containing many mysteries of the great Tao of life, also contains the mysteries of the great Tao of matter origin, which is what makes it so tough and indestructible. The Tian Kuan Kingdom Lord himself was a great Tao of matter origin, so he could naturally be more certain of this. Tian Kuan Kingdom Lord. Are there any more powerful moves? The silver-robed towering body of Luo Feng. The countless golden lines on his body surface were still eroding, but Luo Feng endured it calmly, not the slightest bit fearful. This Luo, he is just relying on the fact that his life body is large enough to be able to resist it. Tian Kuan Kingdom Lord also had experience in dealing with these types of huge life body. The more massive the life body, the greater the burden on the soul and spiritual will. It was good enough to be able to barely control it, unable to perform fancy moves at all. Luo he. The Tian Kuan Kingdom Lord looked at Luo Feng. This stupid flesh body, is that what you're relying on? I will now flatten your Huyang city. I'd like to see if you can stop me. As soon as the Tian Kuan Kingdom Lord moved, he seemed to be immense, but his speed was strangely fast as he traveled through heaven and earth, heading straight for the Huyang city. He was going to use his advantage of subtle moves to properly make Luo Feng pay. Flatten on Huyang city? Luo Feng's face turned cold. With a single step, Luo Feng's body merged into the world, and in an instant, he instantly appeared right in front of the Tian Kuan Kingdom Lord. Open! Luo Feng raised his right hand high. Although the golden light that spread all over his body was corroded his body, Luo Feng still gathered his power in his right hand. A terrifying life and death intent gathered in his palm. Using his hand as a blade, Luo Feng's right hand slashed. The majestic power contained in the world life form was completely condensed in this blade light. The blade light was extremely condensed, but it contained the strange charm of severing all life. This dash, the Tian Kuan Kingdom Lord didn't expect that Luo he would still be able to execute such an exquisite technique despite such a massive life body. He didn't realize that in the case of controlling a clone with 1/1000th of the energy reserve, Luo Feng could execute his own most exquisite techniques. If the more clones were controlled, the more massive they became, the more crude the techniques would be. If one were to execute a world life form's true body, every move would be extremely stupid. But the technique Luo Feng used at this moment was precisely one of his life and death fusion killing techniques, severing life. The blade light traveled in darkness, as if it didn't exist in reality, and in an instant, it had already slashed at the Tian Kuan Kingdom Lord's body, and without a sound or a word, it had already slashed into the depths of the Tian Kuan Kingdom Lord's body. Luo Feng stood in the distance. The golden light patterns on his body surface had slowly dimmed. The great extinction golden light was gradually consumed. Tian Kuan Kingdom Lord. How about this move? Luo Feng looked at his opponent.